I'm Blake Buse, and I'm your marketing technology maestro.
Hey, I'm Greg Marshall. I'm your social media marketing strategist.
And this is the Modern Marketers Podcast. Let's talk about Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook
went down.
Instagram, WhatsApp.
Anything that Facebook owns, basically.
Everything. Like their employees couldn't even badge in to the buildings.
I did read that. What do you think about that?
Sure, it makes it really hard to troubleshoot a problem if you can't get into the building to fix the problem.
I just thought it was crazy because they had that, I messaged you yesterday, remember?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's crazy. The coincidence of this all happened the day after. I guess they had that 60 Minutes, employee come out and say that there was a bunch of, I guess not so great things about what Facebook was doing. So
I actually had a few people reach out to me and say, oh, hey, is this like, are they wiping their records and everything? And no, no. This is purely coincidental. It's not. There's too many backups of everything. There's too many employees there that know everything. They're not going in and cleaning up data or whatever. The 60 Minutes interview was interesting. I actually didn't listen to the whole thing, but it was interesting, and I do think that person's telling the truth. There's probably some stuff going on there, but.
It's just, I think it's just too hard. Like, one of the things, I guess, an unpopular opinion would be, at some level, I have sympathy for some of these CEOs and founders of these programs because imagine trying to manage this type of, you got over 2 billion people using the platform, and most people can't even manage their own household.
No,
let alone 2 billion people. Imagine.
I can't manage my house. There's 6 of us in house. I can't manage. Yeah.
And so it's a very challenging task to have to go, essentially manage 2 billion people, make sure everyone behaves in their best interest, and you don't have any, personal biases, right? I mean, that's just super challenging. So
incredibly challenging. But yeah, do we want to dive into the technical bits of it, or do we want to talk about the impact on people or impact on advertisers?
Well,
what do we want to talk about on that?
I think basically the biggest thing we want to bring up in this shorter episode is making sure that you're diversified in just multiple channels and understanding that each platform does have its value, but that you always need to understand what that value is, which is you don't own it, and we don't own a lot of things, but because you don't own it, you have to treat it as if one day it can be taken away.
Yeah, and this is why email platforms are so important.
Yep.
And you might be thinking, okay, well, the email platform could go offline or whatever. That's true, but email is a very old technology. It's been around for a long time, and you can pull your own email address and back it up into like an Excel spreadsheet or whatever. So you can always have your own copy of that information, but you have a way to communicate with your customers or followers or whatever in the event of some sort of large breakdown or something that can impact things. And that breakdown doesn't necessarily have to be a breakdown. It could be change in the way Facebook does business, or Instagram does business, or a change in a law or something like that can deeply impact your business, or a change in Apple's terms and conditions that make it difficult to
they're altruistic change. I'm happy that they care so much about my privacy that they would do that. But here's the thing: the advice that I would give to everyone, and I believe both you and I follow this, right? Which is always understand nothing is forever. Things change. You always have to evolve and diversify as much as possible. And this isn't just about a Facebook thing or a Google thing or an email thing. This is about in general, right? Because anything can be taken. You have to treat each platform like it can be taken away at some point, therefore making sure that you have a full out system when it comes to marketing and running your business. You have to make sure you're using multiple channels for acquisition, for awareness. You have to have backups to your customer list, your email list. It's just in your best interest to make sure you're diversified. So let's say if 2 platforms go down, you still have another one to work with. the likelihood that every single one of them goes down all at the same time is very low. And it is possible, of course, but just give yourself the opportunity to not panic, because I saw a lot of people panicking yesterday, especially businesses for every right. It's just like if someone just basically shut your business down.
Yeah. And I'd like to add to that, the likelihood of all of them going down at once is very low. The likelihood of one of them going down at some point in time in the future is almost certain.
Very high.
Right? Like it's very certain if the likelihood of one platform going down. So you definitely want to diversify and just diversify your business in general. I mean, when I was working in the financial industry, we had what we call disaster recovery protocols. And we would kind of test those out from time to time. Now, that's an enterprise level solution, but your business should have some sort of disaster recovery plan. Like, okay, I've backed up the contacts, or I have some offline data surrounding my orders, or I have ways to communicate with people if social media is down or whatever. So
yeah, I think this is a good. I don't want to call it a wake up call, but this is just a good demonstration of if you're using platforms and almost, I'll just throw this word in there, if you're almost lazily building your business, right? Because we are spoiled. We do have access to so much data and so many algorithms that can do most of the heavy lifting for us, that we forget that you have to, in order to be a long-term business owner, you have to be thinking about, well, if things shift or move, how will I move my business with it so that I don't have to like completely shut the doors down? And it's a scary thought. You never want to do that, thinking of like, what if this happens? But the reality is you have to, because once upon a time, there was other marketing platforms and they just got laws changed and you couldn't do them anymore. The infomercial stuff changed back in the day. There's different platforms that changed back in the day where it literally made it like impossible for you to do these marketing channels, and so you have to just be able to evolve quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll wrap it up there, but we want to take a quick minute to chat about what happened yesterday and how it can impact people. And we'll probably have a lot more episodes on diversification. I can even talk about the nitty gritty if people are interested on how to have a disaster recovery plan for your website. Because a lot of people don't.
You know what? That's a great topic, and I think what we should do is, if you need help with a lot of the back end stuff, Blake is really skilled in that area. Where should they go?
Just go to blakebuse.com and you can contact me. I have a form on that site, or a couple of different ways you can reach out to me.
And if you need help with your diversification of advertising or basically distribution, visit my website, gregmarshall.co. And so if you guys need any help, I'm sure we'll put together some type of plan or offerings that we can do that people can take advantage of. So be on the lookout for that. And thanks a lot for listening today. And we'll see you next time.
Okay, talk to you later. Bye.